My very first scam baiting experience, long before this channel existed, was the infamous complimentary stay scam. I actually did a whole write-up on this back when it happened, and so this write-up will serve as the script for this video, and I will take you through it step by step. I'm sure many of you have gotten this call at some point. Spoof numbers, robocall claimed to be from Hilton, Marriott, Costco Travel, Carnival Cruise Lines, and in some cases, it just says, "We have an important announcement for our members. Regardless of the prompt, you have been selected for a complimentary stay or complimentary cruise. Press 1 now." It sounds like this.
Thank you for choosing Hilton Hotels. We would like to inform you that thanks to the Friends and Family Rewards program, your membership was drawn to receive a complimentary stay. For further details, press 1 now. To be placed on the Do Not Call list, press 2 now.
And if you press 1,
This is an exclusive announcement from Costco Travel. Your membership number was pre-selected to receive a complimentary stay in a 5-star hotel. Please wait.
Thank you for holding. My name is Gabby. Should I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hi, I'm Mark.
How are you today, Mark?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for asking, Mark.
Unfortunately, I don't have an audio recording of the script, but Music is a Rainbow is a really good scam baiter. She's been doing this for a very long time, and she has 2 videos on this particular scam, which I will link in the doobly-doo that you can go to if you want to hear the script verbally. While I don't have an audio recording of the script, I did write it down because I've heard it so many times, so I will quickly speed run you through it. Sometimes they initially start by asking if you're over the age of 28 or if you've traveled within the last 2 years, but they're offering popular vacations in the US, Canada, Europe, or Southeast Asia. It's a 6-day and 5-night hotel stay in Hawaii, Florida, Vegas, Cancun, wherever. You get picked up and dropped off. There's restaurants. It's an all-inclusive resort. There's golf courses. I'm including this because he said it sometimes and it was funny. Shrimp, steak, lobster, filet mignon, lasagna, pasta, you name it. You know, just trying to entice you with all the foods. And you get 40 or 50% off shore excursions. The amount varied depending on which agent you spoke to. And so like if you went to a resort in Cancun, for example, and you wanted to see the Mayan ruins, you get a discount on the price to go see that. You also get an 8-day cruise, which is also all-inclusive with Royal, Norwegian, Carnival, Princess, Holland, any cruise line you name it, they've got it. You can go to Alaska, Hawaii, the Caribbean, or even European river cruises. It only costs $99 to reserve your cruise vacation, and your activities and your tips are included. By the way, this is the scam where the agent asked me if I smoke pole because he was very unhappy that I had wasted his time. I talked to him multiple times before and he was just not having it. So that's where that video comes from. You have 5 years or 6 years or 18 months from today's date to use your hotel. It's open dated with no blackout dates. You have 12 months to use your cruise. These dates can also be expanded and it can also be transferred. This combination of hotel and cruise normally costs over $4,000, over $5,500, or over $7,000. Again, it depends. The script was different. But today, you get a special discount in exchange for an amenity tour. So they kind of sneak that in there, but it sounds like you have to attend like a timeshare sales pitch as part of buying this. But anyway, for today's pricing, you get this package for $14.99, $15.99, $16.99, or $18.99. And that is not per person or per vacation. That is for 2 people, including both vacations, plus tax, of course. I'm not sure why the price varied so much. I imagine they start off high sometimes so that if you say it's too expensive, they can quickly drop down a couple $100 very easily. Sometimes they would also try to sell you the Dream Week package. For an extra $500, you can have a third vacation, which is either another hotel stay or another cruise. Or for $1,000, you can double it up and get 2 hotel stays and 2 cruises. I've even had them pitch me third hotel stay at some point. So 3 hotels and 2 cruises. And so with taxes and the Dream Week package, this comes to $2,658.60, and I've been quoted as high as $3,358 for these packages. The first time I entered with a fake name, listened to their spiel, and locked it in with my credit card, valid with a $25 limit. I was then transferred to the verification department where they confirmed all the details and requested I text them a photo of my signature so they could process the credit card transaction. I kept stalling them, at which point the person called me by my full name and said he was getting tired of this call and hung up. 45 minutes of their time successfully wasted. So what happened actually was I was stalling and the guy, had a very clear Mexican accent. He was speaking English, but with an accent in English. And so I asked him in Spanish if we could process the call in Spanish instead, like if we would get in trouble. He responded in Spanish, we could, but honestly, Lindsay Gardner, I'm getting tired of this call anyway, and hung up. So if you're a bit confused, the way this works is you get a robocall claimed to be from Hilton, Marriott, Wyndham, Costco Travel, Carnival Cruise Lines. It was different companies each time. It then goes to a call center where you get the spiel, and then it goes to the verification department, which just seems to be the same guy every time. At least I got the same guy every time. I thought this would be the end, but they called back the next day for round 2. This time it took just 30 minutes to get to the final stage, where this time they wanted either a picture of my ID or a picture of the front and back of the credit card I gave them. They wanted me to send this via iMessage to a Gmail address, so they're legit. I sent them this, and they hung up. This was supposed to be like a hyperlink, because I was going to post this to Reddit, but I sent them this. I'm having fun wasting your time. Maybe now you'll stop calling me. And I did indeed send them this. Unfortunately, they put me on hold to check for the message, and so presumably they saw this and just hung up on me. This is the same guy with verification who called me the R word when it turns out that I had used a different name the previous time. I reached this guy a lot, and so they're like, we have records that you called us trying to buy a pack, or we reached you last time, you're trying to buy a package under the name Ryan. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, see, I knew you were. And then he called me the R word and hung up. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've been called the R word by a guy with a very thick accent. One time I got to verification and they wanted the customer service number, the 1-800 number on the back of my credit card, because they were going to have a 3-way call with me and my bank so that I could approve the transaction because it had gotten declined. So I gave him the number of a phone sex line. And he called it, then hung up on me, and then called me back and cussed me out in Spanish, which I pretended to not know. And then we had like a weirdly like cordial, friendly conversation about like the cost of living in Mexico versus the US. It was the weirdest. I have a recording of it. I'm sure I'll upload it at some point. But yeah, I got to verification many times and screwed with them in many different ways. You'd figure after this they would learn their lesson and stop calling. But nope, they keep calling multiple times a day. Sometimes they hang up as soon as I give my fake name. Other times it's 5 minutes into the pitch or during the second transfer. No way these sharks voluntarily drop a potential customer. So I can only assume word gets to them that I'm just wasting their time. Nonetheless, the calls keep coming. Sometimes they would drop on the cruise section. They're like, oh, you get an 8-day cruise. I would ask, is that in an interior, in an ocean view, in a balcony? And they would just hang up on me. They didn't really seem to like you asking questions. Anyway, I wrote this at the time when I was under the assumption that Sunny Beach Getaways was pulling all the strings. But with the knowledge that I have now, I realize that these 3 entities are probably completely independent. So the verification department, as much as I trolled them several times, couldn't really control who the call center sent to them because they didn't control the call center. Likewise, the call center that was completely sick of my shit. I mean, like, they would say, I think we've spoken before. I think we've spoken several times. They recognized me. I would give my fake name. They'd hang up on me. I got all their names because it was the same people over and over again. They couldn't control the fact that the robot was calling me because they don't control the robot. The robot just makes the calls and sends them to the call center. These 3 are independent. I didn't know that back then, but I realize that now. The very first time, I managed to get them to send me documentation, mainly brochures of their property and cruise offerings. However, this also revealed that the company name is supposedly Sunny Beach Getaways, and they're based in Cancun, Mexico. They have a customer service phone number based in Mexico. I can call Mexico for free, and the first time I did manage to get through to someone, but every subsequent call, I'm just on hold for 7 minutes, and then the call drops. Of course, when they call me, it's always to spoof numbers. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, here's an email from the verification department, again, Patrick Diaz, and he's emailing me a payment link so I can go in and enter my credit card information myself rather than them doing it for me. But here is the main email you would get when you try to sign up for one of their packages. You can see on this one, I bought into the Dream Week and got the extra package. In this case, $18.99, but with taxes included. Taxes aren't extra. And you can see their physical location is indeed in Cancun, Mexico, and their website is sunnybeachgetaways.net. Unfortunately, sunnybeachgetaways.net no longer exists, but we can use the Wayback Machine, and this is what the website used to look like. Apparently, their mission is to offer incredible vacation packages at wholesale prices to qualified travelers. Interestingly, if you pull the Who is, this website was first registered in May 2023, which is about a month before I started receiving the calls. So here is the resort list that they sent me, and there are indeed properties all over Mexico, different parts of Mexico, and they have their different qualifications for how long you can stay there, whether or not they allow kids, whether or not they're all inclusive, or whether it's just the accommodation only and things like that. I don't really have a lot of commentary on this list. I suppose I could go in and like see how much a stay is normally and see if it's worth it to buy their vacation package or just to book directly with the hotel, but I'm too lazy to do that. They also sent me this VIP resort list, and I have no idea what this is because like no one mentioned this in the call center, in the verification. No one said anything about a VIP resort. They just kind of included this as an attachment in that email. All I can say is those are some beefy resort fees to be paying on top of the like $1,600 that you have to pay for the vacation package. The cruise portion was what I was most interested in because I love cruising. I happen to be elite on Princess Cruises, for example. So if we look at their brochure, they claim that it's an 8-day cruise. You can go to Alaska, Hawaii, European river cruises, whatever you wanted. But you can see it's a smattering of mainly 3 and 4 day cruises, some 6, the occasional 7. There is Alaska, but there's no Hawaii that I can see. There's no European river cruises. And for all of these, they don't give you like the name of the ship or the cruise line. They just kind of give you a general itinerary and the day that it departs. And you have a couple different options to choose from these different cruise providers. Do note you have to do the amenity tour with the hotel first before you can get your cruise vacation. Curiously, this does not mention what type of cabin accommodation you should expect to have. Obviously, a balcony or above is better, so you get those nice ocean views and you can step out and get some fresh air from your cabin. I especially love sitting on mine and watching the sunset. During the call, I would ask, and sometimes they would hang up on me. Sometimes they would tell me it's a veranda, which is also known as a balcony. One guy told me he doesn't know about the cruises, so he doesn't have that information, which I appreciate the honesty. One person told me it was an ocean suite, which is you lying sack of shit. But no, it's not mentioned absolutely anywhere, but I can guarantee you it's the most bargain basement, shittiest interior cabin you could possibly find. You're probably underneath the disco or something. Well, the nightclub. Cruise ships don't have discos, I don't think. I've never seen a disco ball on a cruise ship. They really should have those. I have multiple phone numbers for this company. This 844 number is supposedly the billing department.
To speak to a live representative, please press 7.
Thank you for calling Resort Services. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. till 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of our representatives are currently busy assisting other customers. So please press 1 for customer service or press 2 for reservation.
I've tried this before. Regardless of whether you speak to reservations or customer service, they all want like a confirmation number that I guess you get when you actually buy the package. And so since I don't have one, they just refuse to speak to me. This 888 number appears to be the main company number, and it's the exact same message as the 844 number. And finally, this +52 number is their local Mexican number. It just rings 4 times and the call drops. What I'm curious about is how this outfit works, like how they claim to be from different companies each time. Also, their scripts vary a little bit. Sometimes you get 40% off excursions, sometimes 50%. Sometimes the package is $1,600 and others $1,900. Sometimes they ask if I've taken a vacation in the last 6 years, and sometimes hang up when I say yes, and sometimes they don't hang up or don't ask the question at all. These little inconsistencies, in addition to the frequency of calls, makes me think that there are multiple call centers that all tie back to the same company, but are independent from each other. It's really hard to get an insight into how their operation works because they're so skittish on the phone. To be a young and naive scam baiter. So much to learn. What is interesting is that the call center was almost 50-50. You either had a clearly Hispanic person, I don't want to say specifically Mexican because they could be anything from Central or South America, but they spoke English heavily accented. And when they got to the Mexico portion, they would be like, and you can have resorts in Cancun, Cabo San Lucas, Loreto, Cabo Puerto Vallarta. Like they pronounced the cities perfectly. And then you'd have Americans who spoke great English, but like we can get our resorts in Cancun, in Cabo San Lucas, like, they would just very clearly American English speakers don't speak Spanish at all, never learned Spanish. I have no idea where the call center was. I wish I knew. I want to say Florida as a guess, but I'd really love if somebody that was involved in this came forward because there were multiple people in the call center. It wasn't a lot because you'd get the same people over and over again, but it was a sizable call center and this was a year ago. So I'm astonished that nobody has really come forward to talk about their role in this. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lindsay, these calls were from over a year ago. Why are you just sharing them now? Is this just a desperate attempt to get some views? Is this a useless video? Are all my uploads pointless? Is my channel dead? Well, first of all, I worked really hard to troll these people and bait them, a year ago and gather all this information, and I did a whole write-up on it. So all that information should see the light of day. But more importantly, one day, a couple weeks ago, I'm just chilling at my day job, ignoring my responsibilities as always, and I get a phone call. And it's from Mexico. It's a Mexican number, which is not atypical. I get calls from Peru and Egypt and Thailand and different places, Jamaica. So it's not exactly unusual, but it's from Mexico. And in the spirit of the channel, I take the call. And well, hello?
Hi, this is Abby, VIP Global. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. We're reaching out to you in regards to our partner company, Hilton Honors, whereby you're able to receive a discount price in a vacation package. Do you still take vacations or is something you no longer do?
Yes, I still take vacations.
I'm sorry?
I still take vacations.
Where do you travel to?
Mexico.
What part of Mexico?
I try to go to Cancun to the resorts. Sometimes Cabo. It just depends on who has the better pricing at the time.
Oh, so this is a discount price in a vacation package for a 6-day, 5-night resort stay for 2 adults and 2 children, if any. Meals, drinks, alcoholic tips, and beverages all included. We have destination in Mexico, Canada, United States, Southeast Asia, and Europe. We give you 6 days and 5 nights, and covers 2 adults, 2 children, 12 years of age and under, if any. The great part is you get a bonus vacation, which can be another 6-day, 5-night all-inclusive resort stay, just like the first, or you can swap it out for an 8-day, 7-night cruise for 2. We give you 5 years to use it, fully extendable, also transferable, no blackout dates. The retail price on the package is normally $3,500. Today's at a promotional discount price. It only comes down to $1,399, not per person or not per vacation.
Sounds good. I'm in. Oh, what? I did try calling her back, but shockingly, the number was spoofed. Now, they didn't use the name Sunny Beach Getaways, but the script was pretty similar. Interestingly enough, there's not a lot of information about this company online. There are statements from Hilton about fraudulent calls. If someone calls you offering a complimentary stay, it's a scam. There's a similar statement from Marriott, native speak, by the way, and this one goes back to 2017, so perhaps there have been variants of this scam throughout the years, and the 2023 Sunny Beach Getaways is just sort of the latest version, or at least one of the more recent ones. There's also a Reddit post from 2 years ago about receiving a call similar to this with a similar pitch, claiming to be from Costco Travel, which is one of the companies that the robot claims to be affiliated with. But when you look up Sunny Beach Getaways itself, well, you just get generic results. When you look up Sunny Beach Getaways scam, you do get the Sun Beach International scam post from 5 years ago. Interestingly, my video and Music as a Rainbow's video, but there's really not much information about this company out there. Maybe no one bothered to bait the scammers and see where these calls go. Or if they did, they just didn't publish about it. Or maybe this scam just wasn't as prevalent as I'm assuming it was. They sure pounded the fuck out of my phone. Or maybe this company is run by the cartels, and if you dare name and shame them, they come and skin you. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm happy to share my knowledge of this with the world. And even though it seems like Sunny Beach Getaways has moved on because the website no longer works, and if you call their phone number, you just sit on hold endlessly, I guarantee you that there is a variant of this scam happening right now.